Action stations.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, worshippers of all ages, we're down to 3. It's the final game of the losers bracket here in North America and King of the Sea 15. I said the final game, the final match is what I meant to say there. And beneath is 2 teams, both BONKZ and KSC, down in the losers bracket because of the team that one of them will face next, and that is ELSR. Zath, BONKZ spawning on the north side of Sleeping Giant here for game 1. Talk me through their lineup.
Yeah, so BONKZ is bringing with them St. Vincent. Now, that's Kermit, who was before in the Kremlin, and a bit of a, just your standard kind of gun, tanky, do things build. We got a Montana in a sniper build, especially look at that, the spotting aircraft module in slot 1, keeping that plane up that much longer for those super long-range shots. We've got Ocean Man making his debut today in King of the Sea in the Minotaur.
Minotaur.
That's right. And fronted by Optical's Gearing in a smoke torpedo unique upgrade. We've seen this all day.
We've seen that build. Yep,
same
build.
Thing. Copy pasta over to Todd Howard's Gearing. We got a Ragnar that's in full gun build. They're obviously trying to kill whatever's in B. Tester in the Des Moines in, again, unique upgrade setup. Obi-Wan, same copy pasta gearing. And finally, Fratstar's Brisbane in a Torp build with gun in slot 6 setup. Wow, that's a lot to take in. What do we got for KSC?
Well, right now, let's come back to KSC after we see how this gunfight goes in the middle of the board. Hitaki's Ragnar diving the B cap, getting absolutely just hammered by, well, just about everybody here. Coughing up about half. Go ahead.
Todd's losing a bit too here, though, for this first trouble.
Hitake coughing up about half his health pool there with one of his heals ticking. Or one of his heals finished ticking. Todd also losing a little over half his HP. So a big early rumble at B. Both teams trying to push with 2 destroyers. Nobody coming up with the cap. Both teams coming up bloody.
Yeah, although one of those 2 has a heal, the other does not.
That's true. KSC on the bottom of the map. As we head over to the western flank, we're looking at Well Done's Ohio. That standard secondary build he's been playing all the whole tournament, but I'm not even sure I've ever seen him get into a secondary brawl with it. John the Impaler's Stalingrad with a reload build there. Probably going to be setting up over here on this island. Of course, remember, Moskva and Kleber both banned for this match. Harugamo here of Sate running the smoke there in slot 5. Not surprising. Warp Chaos of Salem running reload and top grade gunner. We had a look briefly at Siberian Dog's Daring here in the middle of the board. That is a gun and RPF build, backed up by Hitake's Ragnar, also a gun and RPF build, of course. Ragnar coming in with the heals and the radar and those light cruiser guns. Pikachu's Vermont loves this position on this map. We've seen him play it quite a bit. He is running Brisk, of all things, on a Vermont to go with accuracy there. Artillery plotting 2 in slot 6. And farther on the far eastern flank, we have Storm's Des Moines, legendary configuration there with RPF, and Raiden's gearing here. Largely a torpedo build, but RPF, smoke, and engine boost back in slots 2 and 3.
Lots to chew on this. I want to bring your attention to Siberian Dog's Daring. Take a look. Take another look at his build, commander build specifically. Okay,
let's have a quick leap. All right. He's running Dazzle of all things, which is a skill we don't normally see. If memory serves, the people who have run the math behind Dazzle have kind of come to the conclusion that it's not really all that amazing. In fact, Zath, I'm not sure Siberian's running all 19 points. I'm seeing 12, 18, 19. He's running a 20-point build. Okay, so it's not a 21-point build. It's a 20-point build.
Which begs the question, why don't you just throw another slot 1 someplace?
No, hang on. My math is wrong. My math is wrong.
Okay.
12, 18, 20, 21. He's running all 21. Okay. I'm stupid. I got it. He's right. I can't count. Ignore me.
No worries. So the thing about Dazzle is, yes, I think in a random battle, Dazzle's not so good because a lot of times people get hit or get spotted and then they get shot at, and they get shot at, and they get shot at, and they get shot at. But in King of the Sea or clan battles, if you're really good at feathering the edge of radar and all that kind of stuff, that Dazzle actually does give you a lot more utility for not dying. So we'll have to see if Siberian's able to pull that one off. One other thing you mentioned too. You talked about Pikachu's Vermont having Brisk. And it's a bit of a joke, right? Because if you're not detected, you get a little bump in your top speed. But I was talking over with one of the Munch guys over on the EU in the replay deep dive. He likes to play Brisk on his Vermont because the Vermont, of course, has built-in propulsion module in those American standards. So combination Brisk and that means it actually accelerates a lot quicker than pretty much any other battleship. So it's great for dodging torpedoes or incoming shells from long range.
Siberian's daring, trying to pick up B, sniffed out by Nagato's Ragnar radar here. Taking some shells, putting him off the cap. Torpedoes coming in for Ragnar's position as well. Those were probably RPF-guided torpedoes. Vermont taking his second salvo at Tester, coming up big that time.
Yeah.
Pikachu had completely whiffed the earlier salvo, or RNG got him or whatever, but that time he shaves nearly, well, over 30,000 HP off of Tester's health pool.
By the way, did you notice how little damage Siberian Dog took in that engagement there?
Yeah.
Could be Dazzle.
For the moment, BONKZ on a lead, grabbing A here on the back of Obi-Wan Kenobi. They've done a good job of pushing back the KSC guys south of the cap. Warped Chaos is Salem taking a beating, probably getting punished by Kermit St. Vincent in a salvo or two that we missed. The other long-range exchange has been going on is America's Montana up here for BONKZ has been dropping shells through John the Impaler's deck in the Stalingrad.
Yes.
And John's been taking, not like catastrophic hits, but some good, 10, 12, 15K chunks here and there. He's definitely low.
Yeah, very interesting play over at A. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, they caught Todd on radar over here. Hitake's Ragnar radar picking him up, getting some more shells on the gearing. Todd coming out very badly on that initial exchange.
Yep, Daring smoking up, able to shoot for free into Todd Howard's gearing. Getting a little bit more chip damage, not enough.
Have a look at Raiden and Storm.
First kill.
Whoa.
Well done, Ohio. Takes out Fratstar's Brizzy.
Frat got dunked. He wasn't even damaged last time I looked over here.
He wasn't. He wasn't. He was just barely detected. Obi-Wan couldn't get to him quickly enough with that smoke screen.
Smoke was going up, and he wasn't able to get there. Big first kill for KSC, as they're making a hard play over here for C as well. Storms Des Moines right on the edge of this cap.
I like that he's on the edge and not going in. That denies some information to BONKZ.
No need for him to go into that cap. Shogun can pick it up if they want. They're actually kind of piggybacking off of Optical's smoke. They're using, because Storm is in smoke.
Yep.
And then, actually, is he leaving?
He's going to leave, which is very smart. Look at all these torps coming in.
I say, he can see these torpedoes coming from Optical. He knows he's going to have to move. So, there he goes. They're going to spot him as soon as he does.
Yep. Ooh, and look at the torpedoes on Optical.
I would say Optical's going to take at least one of these. He can't stop it now. Bam.
Oh.
Big gearing hit. In fact, more torpedoes going in for Todd, who's also over there as well.
Yeah.
I got to say, as much as I love seeing people play Minotaur, especially Minotaur, if I am a Minotaur, I am not excited to get into a gunfight with a Des Moines.
Well, it's interesting. We talk about the strengths of the Brisbane in King of the Sea this whole season. Ocean Man bringing a Minotaur when the Brisbane is not banned.
Ocean trying to make the turn. What is he doing? He can't make that turn with the Des Moines in his face.
Yep.
Getting punished.
So it's interesting that he would choose
B finally.
to go for a Minotaur instead of that Brisbane, foregoing the extra radar range and the extra torpedo range. But this is Ocean Man, who's very used to playing a Minotaur at range and up close.
Well, they're trying to smoke with Storm's Des Moines right here. Montana shells coming in, missing. But Storm's radar is available. There it goes. He's now spotting Optical, who's incredibly low. That's where his first shells are going to go.
And Todd Howard's, too.
And bam, picking that up. He'll start in on Ocean Man momentarily.
Yeah,
really good Des Moines playing here from KSC.
Yep, Storm's Hydro is down, though, so here comes some torpedoes from the gearing.
Yeah,
both gearings, really.
He's probably going to take at least one of these. He's going to have to go all the way to the map border to avoid the first set.
Yep.
But the second set, is he going to turn to port or starboard? They're both going to turn to port.
Raiden's detected now on Ocean Man's radar.
Ooh, is Storm going to slide between these? He's not. He's going to take one on the stern. Raiden's going to smoke him up in there. Storm's still lit for now.
I love this, like, sliding smoke along
the sliding
border.
smoke, I know. Isn't that wild? That's wild. KSC making inroads on the other side of the map as well. Sate's Harugumo smoking Warped Chaos of Salem right up into the bottom end of the A cap. As 2 ships down, BONKZ trying to find a way to hold on to some real estate.
Oh, Atake.
Yeah, it looks like Kataki's going to go out here. But Todd Howard's taking a Vermont salvo.
Oh, Pikachu.
Deleted 5,000 damage right there in the smoke under Hitaki's Ragnar radar.
Right. Pikachu, he chooses you for death.
Storm is going to sneak away on about 5,000 or 6,000 HP, pop a heal. Raiden's smoke getting him out of there.
Absolutely. Ocean Man trying to use that French radar, getting a couple hits every now and then, just not enough.
Nope.
Ooh, Warped Chaos goes down at A.
I wonder how they spotted him in there. Oh, the Des Moines radar, perhaps? Yeah, it just went down.
Mm-hmm.
So they used Tesser's radar. I'm not sure why Obi-Wan fired all those torpedoes just then. But okay. They know the Harugumo's still in there, so again with the French radar.
Oh, look at BC area. Look at the 7 line. Merca FK, yeah, choosing to go forward into
Montana coming, but he's going to take all 8 of these daring torpedoes. Siberian Dog with a brilliant salvo.
He chose death right there. Wow.
And they pick up Battleship Nagato at the same time.
Well, Sate's going to go...
Storm doing the honors.
Yep, Sate's probably going to go down at A. He's detected again. Yeah, that's it for him.
Yep.
I say that, he's still not dead. Come on, die already. There you go.
There he goes. KSC losing their second ship, but they have a significant lead here. 7.5 minutes to play, but it's a 250, 230-ish point lead here for KSC here in game 1.
Yeah, I'm curious now if you're BONKZ, what do? How do you get back into this?
I don't think you can, Zath. I mean, you have no chance at C. You have no chance at B. The only place you have a chance with fighting power, right, is at the A cap. You could, if you were feeling bold, make a play and push from Thunderdome into the middle of the board. But by the time you do that, the KSC forces at C will have reoriented and will be ready and probably ready and waiting to meet you.
Well, interestingly enough, Cannoli might be fixing to do a drive-by, or at least attempt to do one on Well Done's Ohio. So we may
That's a terrible idea.
Oh, sure, but we may well get your secondary engagement here.
That's true. Well Done secondaries have not really done the work. He's invested a ton of points in those secondaries, and thus far, I can't recall seeing the ship in a position where he's gotten any use out of those secondaries at all.
Now, it's interesting that Tester kept going. He got detected by Well Done's plane, so Well Done knows Tester's coming. His turrets are pre-aimed, they're ready to go. Cannoli's gonna come right into all these shells.
Well, and there's, I guess BONKZ is like, full send, it's over. That's all I can think of.
And no, okay, going for the full damage with AP. I thought he was taking the time to switch to HE. But Well Done realizing he doesn't need to.
No, Kermit taking a salvo on John the Impaler there, landing some shells, but nothing major. Obi-Wan's going to go out here to some secondary shells or something. His smoke is available, he's choosing not to use it, so this is essentially him just surrendering.
Yep.
Well Done going to take one of these. Boop. Wow.
And Ocean Man detected now.
Tester going to get into a bow-on duel with an Ohio, and, well, that pretty much only ends one way. Well, I'd say it's pretty decisive here. Zath, KSC is going to claim game 1. BONKZ seems to know it, and they're just like, well, just everybody push and get this over with, kids.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
The enemy is about to win.
I gotta say, I think that the key here was just Pikachu's beautiful aim in that Vermont was just decisive in so many occasions. That early engagement as well, having an impact on Todd Howard's what was it?
Gearing.
Yeah, it's gearing.
Yep.
So kind of forced BONKZ on the back foot right off the bat. At least one more game to come, though.
Yep, we got at least one more game in this series. I'm wondering why Tester is just chilling back here.
I don't know.
St. Vincent's got one of the funny torpedoes out. Maybe he's trying to get both of them out, waiting to see if he can get one on the Stalingrad too. He's gonna miss the one on the Ohio. No, he gets the Ohio with it. He gets the Ohio with it. Gonna try and save face for Her Majesty's Navy, Zath.
Oh! I think he does
Saving
just
face
that.
indeed. Saving face indeed. Kermit St. Vincent decisive here with 2 quick kills.
That's right. He has just saved his star.
Now Tester, Zath, you almost have to wonder how this might have maybe gone a little differently or better if maybe Obi-Wan had played it out with his and hadn't kind of gone full suicide.
Or maybe one of his torches gone. Either way, he could have used his guns at least or something. Yeah, I agree.
The Des Moines, so Tester's out of radar. They have no way to detect Hatake's destroyer, which is a shame. Because if they could pick him up, they could kill him in an instant.
Getting some serious Batman vibes. Was it Batman Returns with Penguin? You don't really think you'll win, do you?
Or The Last Samurai, when the last battle, right?
Oh yeah, yeah.
They think they can win.
And Nomura's like, shoot them! No!
That's right.
Oh, what a great movie.
That is one of my favorites. That's a good one. Well, Kermit's going to drive into B. There's only 2.5 minutes of the timer. I can't imagine a world where BONKZ. I mean, wow. Kermit doing work with the St. Vincent here. Is he going to live? The Hydro is starting, I think, revealing these torpedoes. I don't think he's got a way through the conga line torps. He doesn't.
No.
There you go. An honorable death, though, for Kermit's St. Vincent.
Very honorable. Yes.
Very honorable. Kudos to BONKZ for kind of not throwing in the towel here, though, right? Like, it looked like they were going to with Obi-Wan, and then they sort of didn't.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, let's not. I agree, though. Good sportsmanship. There he goes.
Oh, Pikachu again with the Vermont.
Pikachu once again choosing somebody else. The irony there.
Choosing them for deletion. Goodness gracious.
That's right. 3 kills for Kermit and 3 kills for Pikachu. I kind of feel like the battleships had an impact in this game. Well, at least one of them did.
Could be. Could be. Game 1 in the books. It's KSC on top. Game 2 shortly. Let's see what the analyst desk has to say. We'll see you guys in a minute.
General quarters.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Game 2 of KSC versus BONKZ.
Did you mute again, Zath?
Loser finals, and yes, I did. Go figure. So anyways, let's try it again, this time with more feeling. I just realized we had no disconnects or restarts so far today. Let's keep it going. Okay, anyways. I know, right? Knock on wood. Where's that wood? Moving on. KSC versus BONKZ, Game 2, loser bracket finals. Raptor, what do we have for KSC, sir?
KSC spawning in the green on the north side here, packing the same Ohio-Vermont builds we saw in the previous game. Fronted by Hatake and a Brisbane now. Let's see, concealment. This is I would say a full torpedo build, but that's a lie. He's running gun reload in 6, but with a bunch of torpedo skills. That's an interesting choice.
Yeah, very.
Raiden's gearing over here, the same kind of build we've been seeing with the torpedo unique and so on. Yeah, no, this is the same thing we just saw them playing in the middle of the map earlier. Well, okay, he does have Dazzle now. Sean the Impaler's Stalingrad headed that direction. He's running concealment reload and top grade gunner. Headed to the eastern flank over here, Warped Chaos's Des Moines. Concealment outnumbered and legendary module there in slot 6. Storm's Mossville concealment and top grade gunner and legendary in slot 6. Siberian Dogs Grozavoy sticking with that unique upgrade for Grozavoy RPF, and he's also running. It's not brisk for destroyers. It's called Swift in Silence, but that'll allow him to move around the map a little quickly while he is not spotted. And he's got a lot of gun power with that particular Grozavoy build, backed up by Sate's gearing here with the same build that the other destroyer was running on the other side of the map. What has BONKZ got cooking here? They're wearing red this game.
I almost wonder if the word went out last game. Guys, Dazzle actually works.
Guys, Dazzle's amazing. Everybody should go get Dazzle.
Go get Dazzle now. The other thing, too, to note, Siberian Dog going with Swift and Silence, he nerfs his gun reload with Swift when he's detected, at least. So, you know, a little bit of a back and forth with the legendary module. But in any case, opposing him to the south, BONKZ with red, as Raptor said, is running Shimakaze Optical X. What is that? 20-kilometer torpedoes, full Shimakaze build, except for unique upgrade. Behind him, Fratstar with a unique upgrade, Des Moines, popping his radar, catching Siberian Dogs, Grozavoy out already. Murica is now in a different Murican battleship. This is an Ohio sniper spec. Tester in the typical Moskva position early on with unique upgrade. Todd Howard's changing the gearing for a daring this time around with a gun slash consumable build. Seppuku in a Vermont now again. Sniper spec. Heading over towards the A side. Kleber battleship Nagato looks like he's forced out of the A cap with a unique upgrade Kleber. And Obi-Wan in Torp, typical gearing setup we've seen BONKZ running. And EU in the Brisbane coming up behind in guns. All that going on, Siberian kinda lowish. More lowish now.
Grozavoy was able to cap C over there, so give up a bunch of health. But Grozavoy does have a heal.
Yes.
So that is one of the nice things about that destroyers. Above average anti-aircraft, fairly average guns and torpedoes normally, but a really, really good consumable selection. You can see there Grozavoy having access to defensive fire, engine boost, smoke, and a heal. One of the few destroyers that can boast that kind of a list. So very utilitarian pick here from KSC.
Yeah.
I'd like to see them field it.
All you need is a second keyboard to use all those consumables.
That's true. Now, the Siberians were kind of going to get erased here. They've only gotten about 40 points off of it. Warped Chaos's Des Moines not in any position to do anything about radaring optical Shimakaze. Siberian's going to take some shots and just see if he can get a reset, but he doesn't come up with anything.
Yeah, kind of interesting to see the very, very close play at C early. Very aggressive play. And the complete opposite, as you've kind of come to expect on Warrior's Path over here at A. Just a whole lot of Death Snail and Torpedo.
They barely reset Todd Howard's daring in time. Kind of a late radar there from Storm's Moskva. And it was the Stalingrad of John the Impaler with some HE shells that reset Todd Howard's with like 1 second before he grabbed the B cap.
It's interesting.
And just now, wow, look at the punishment going in on Todd.
Oh, yeah. I almost wonder the decision to use Storm's Moskva radar first. I mean, it lasts longer than Impaler's Stalingrad, but there's a 6-second delay before John the Impaler can actually see Todd Howard's daring and shoot him.
Well, there's our first lead change of the game. 5 minutes in, BONKZ flips C and grabs A. It's pretty obvious from KSC's setup that A is not really of importance to them. Again, the gearing Brisbane on this side, playing the same role that gearing Nevsky played last King of the Sea. Satake gets dunked right there.
Yeah.
Probably by Kermit's Vermont. So all these ships now hovering around the B cap. If you're KSC, you have to wonder when they're going to try and make a play here to put some ships into B.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely kind of a little bit up against the clock, having no caps at all. And the opponent having 2, as Sate is smoking Warp Chaos farther south. Does Warp Chaos want to take this smoke farther south, though? I don't know.
It's a good question.
I mean, first of all, the island that he's kind of being smoked towards is on the border. You can't get behind it.
Yeah. Nope, that's not going to do him any good.
So, all that does is maybe allow him to get closer to the potential Shimakaze location, but look at Optical. He's like, yeah, okay, I see the smoke. Sailing away.
Yep. Siberian now reversing towards the B cap. That'll probably draw out Admiral Tester's Moscow radar when the time comes. Whole bunch of conga line torpedoes looking for Siberian, coming up empty. Early radar from John the Impaler. Going to catch a brief glimpse of Battleship Nagato's Kleber over here, south of the A cap.
Yep, and I'm looking at Kermit Seppuku's Vermont, and he's looking right back at that Brizzy up north again. He's not interested in what's happening in the middle of the map. So his guns will have no input on Siberian Dog's Grozovoy grab.
Yep. Radar up. Some shells coming in from the Kleber here on Siberian. They do tap him for a little bit. It's now a 200-point lead for BONKZ. KSC taking their time, getting onto a cap. I'm a little surprised to see them. I mean, I understand the kiting at A, but they're not really making a play at C either, Zath.
No, they're not. Although you say that, and you can see the Sate's gearing looks like he's about ready to go into C. There's the radar.
That draws the radar from Fratstar. Todd Howard's daring is kind of headed towards that channel between B and C. And now, who's going to shoot? Yep, Optical's Shima is going to smoke and try for the honor of getting the resets on Sate, and there it is.
There it is. Murica did take some gearing torpedoes just now, so I almost wonder if they were trying to time it. But look at Well Done's Ohio.
Yep. Well done. We saw Well Done do this last game.
Yep.
Moving up to punch Todd Howard in the face with some HE.
Go Gadget secondaries.
Yep. See if you can get some value out of those secondaries now as Sate's down below half HP. Well, right at half. Now below half.
Yeah.
Looks like he DCP'd maybe a little early. Still burning back there.
At least he's not detected anymore.
Siberian trying again. They're trying for blind resets. They get one. Tester's Moscow radar 40 seconds away. And now Well Done is earning the ire of the Shimakaze, Zath. Check that out.
I'm surprised he... I mean, I guess if you go into the channel, you're screwed by the daring. If you don't go in the channel, you're screwed by the Shima. So he took the Shima.
Did. Wall of Skill inbound. I think he's only going to take one of these, actually. A lot worse than it could have been.
Oh, yeah. But if you're Well Done, I mean, how do you get out of this? I don't see a path out.
I don't think you do. It's about where he died previously trying this attempting this maneuver.
I mean, they gotta get warped chaos. You can see the smoke from Sate now. You gotta get warped chaos to that island by sea. You can get him there. He can radar Optical's Shimakaze. Look at the conga coming in from the rear, though.
I was just noticing that the conga line torps crawling up Well Done's stern. He's going to take at least two of these. Yep, two in the stern
with a flood and
I was going to say, does that flood stick? Yep, that flood's going to stick for a bit.
For a minute. It'll be a full flood. Seal is going, though.
Seal's going to expire shortly. He's got Vermont shells falling in. That's from Kermit.
There's a new push forming from KSC over at the A line as well. Shogun
Brisbane headed into the A cap.
Shogun takes a torpedo. Well Done goes down.
It's a 400-point lead for BONKZ here in Game 2. KSC desperate to get back onto caps. Now the radar coming up at A. Counter radar. We'll see if either team picks up a kill for their trouble here. Pikachu's Vermont just has not felt useful here, Zach.
No, he's been behind islands trying to look for shots on the Moskva, and those shots just never became available. Moskva did a really nice job of not getting detected, essentially.
Yeah. BONKZ has rock-solid control of C. I just don't see a way in for these guys. They're making up KSC, making a play at A. Raiden clinging to life on 1,000 HP.
Yeah, BONKZ was doing the French radar thing. It looks like they've kind of given up on that. Raiden did the brakes maneuver, and now he's reversing. He's going to get the cap.
Yep. Well, 400-point lead starts to narrow, but BONKZ still wins in a little less than 5 minutes, even on a single cap. So if you're KSC, you still got to make a play somewhere. You got to pick up a kill. You got to make something else happen. Oh, and by the way, you can't lose a ship on the way to doing it.
No pressure.
No pressure. That losing it, this is, how many times have we seen it, Zath? We watched it in Warrior's Path earlier in the event. When you give up so much cap control, so many cap points early, you're just down. You're so much pressure on you to get anything done, that invariably you end up having to take crazy risks just to get back into a game. And we're seeing it again here, right? It wasn't quite as bad as getting triple capped, but they were double capped for long enough. They were down over 200 points before they started making an attempt to cap B. Now that is a big kill.
Now that is a
over
big kill.
on. That is a big kill over here at A. That narrows the gap a little faster. It's now a 250-point gap. BONKZ loses their first ship. Both teams on a kill. In fact, Zath, KSC's pulling off the A cap completely.
Look at the daring Todd Howards. He's got his Hydra going, but still.
Does he have it up? His Hydra is offline.
It just went down, so he saw the torpedoes. Now that's gonna force him to stop and turn.
But he's right in front of Storm. Does Storm know he's there? Okay.
He's gotta. His Hydra's available. He's not Hydroing. His radar's down for another minute though.
KSC's pulling everybody off the A cap. They figure, I guess, with the destroyer dead, that BONKZ is not going to be able to contest A again. At least that's what I'm assuming. They can't risk Raiden. They have to keep those points, so they have to be very cautious with him. They're going to move Hataki a little closer to mid, it looks like, and maybe bring Siberian's Grozavoy back to contest C. I'm not sure.
I don't know, but you got the Battleship Nagato and the Kleber going right into B now.
Yep, there he
What's
is.
to stop him? Nothing.
Nothing. No, it's 20 seconds to a radar. By the time the radar comes up, Nagato will have it. There we go. Stalingrad radar from John the Impaler picks him up. But who's going to get the shots in? It's going to have to be John. Nope, the Vermont salvo's going downrange now.
That's on Storm.
All right, well, they don't get a lot of damage on Nagato, but they do get the reset, so they buy themselves some time. That allows Storm's Moscow radar to come available, if/when they want to use it.
Man.
A few more resets there. There we go. Go.
Todd just sat there in front of Storm's Moscow like, I know you can't radar me. What are you going to do about it? Crazy.
Oh, Siberian. Oh, dives the island and pays the price. Doesn't even survive to get there.
No.
Now with B not ticking, it's over 900 points for BONKZ.
Yeah, I don't see a way back in for him. As a matter of fact, KSC, Raiden here, is probably going to take a torpedo meant for John the Impaler Stalingrad. Once that happens, that's impending doom.
Raiden's going to slow down, find a gap. They all run out of steam.
Wow.
All skill, no luck, ladies and gentlemen.
Ruining my death pick.
The Kleber coming back again, stepping onto B. Trying to dash the hopes of KSC here in game 2.
Look at the torps on Storm's Mosfa now.
He's going to miss most of the... Well, I was going to say most of these are going to miss, but that's not true.
He sped up.
The first salvo is going to miss. It's the second salvo.
And the Vermont salvo.
And the Vermont salvo. And the torpedoes. And that is the ball game, ladies and gentlemen, right there. You are 20 seconds now from a BONKZ win here in game 2. We're going to be looking at game 3 on loop here in just a few minutes.
Wow. We love us some game 3s here, folks.
We do indeed. It still feels to me like KSC just took too long and let them take up too many points from the A and the C cap before they tried to make a play.
I think they were waiting for BONKZ to initiate their throw maneuver, and that just never happened. Right?
Not on that map, it didn't.
If you look
Not
at
on
it,
that map.
they actually tried to lure Fratstar out of his position. And for a minute, it kind of looked like it was working because he started moving forward, and then he was like, nah. He just stopped and reversed back behind the island.
They've beat up poor Frat so many times, you almost feel like maybe they feel like they can they can sucker him into making a bad play that they can punish him for. I don't know.
I got
But,
nothing. Yeah.
I got nothing.
Well, let's see what our studio has, shall we?
Kick it back, baby. All right, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to the final game of today's loser bracket matches here in King of the Sea 15 on NA. And we are down to the very final game. One of these teams, their tournament ends here. One of these teams will get one more shot at glory, taking on ELSR in the grand final. Let's take a look at the KSC lineup, Zath, as they spawn here in green.
All right, so KSC in green, bringing Ohio, same kind of secondary spec we've seen. Pikachu, same spec we've seen. John the Impaler in the Stalingrad, same thing we've seen. Warp Chaos in the Des Moines, same thing we've seen. Storm in Moscow, we've seen that as well. Sate in the Gearing, we saw that last game. Siberian Dog returns in his Daring, which we saw 2 games ago with Dazzle again. Raiden Shogun also got the word out on Dazzle. And finally, we have Hatake Yoshi's Brisbee. Same thing we've seen.
Okay.
What do we got for BONKZ, sir?
Down south, BONKZ running Ohio. That's America. He is running a fairly standard survivability-ish type build there with the double artillery plotting rooms. Both Ohios, I should say. Yep, there's Kermit in Ohio. Very similar build, if not. Let's actually, are they... So Kermit is running Swift. America is running Turret Traverse. That's basically the main difference there.
Spotter plane as well in slot 1. That's it.
Yep. Chukwama's Moskva running for the B cap. He is running the unique upgrade there in slot 6. Battleship Nagato's Ragnar playing out in front of him with a ranged gun build. Todd Howard's is Daring, caught here by an early radar from Storm's Moskva. Who has got shots on Todd?
Not
Sate's
many.
not going to take him. Hatake's Brisbane might if they decide to smoke. They can see Hatake now. Anyway, Todd running actually a gun reload Daring, a little very similar to Siberian's build, but without the dazzle there. Another radar coming up. All the radar here across the middle of the board early. Whose Des Moines is this? That's Admiral Tester running the unique upgrade in RPF. Out here on the flank with America, we have Use Brizzy, and that is also running gun reload. Dyer's Harugumo. I haven't seen Dyer this entire series, but he's back now in a Blaze It All gun build Harugumo. And Obi-Wan Kenobi's Kleber well into D already. Going to have that capped right about now. And he is running, that's the unique upgrade Kleber we've been seeing off and on. Very difficult, much more difficult to detect, but less gunpowder in that particular build of ship.
Right. A lot of aggressive play in the middle of the map. Very interesting to see.
I was going to say, we're seeing something on Loop we haven't seen in Loop in several days, and that is people fighting over the sea cap. like in general, the team strats we've seen on Loop up to this point have all been sea cap. Who needs that garbage? Everybody's run for the flanks, but both BONKZ and KSC making very big plays here for the sea cap, and it's going to be KSC who comes out on top on this one.
And reminder, both teams banning St. Vincent. Nuke it from orbit. Ooh.
Siberian Dog grabbing the cap, able to accelerate and dodge out of those torpedoes, and just like that, 3.5 minutes in, every cap is claimed, and so everybody's ticking up the points at the same rate. About a 30-point lead there for BONKZ. So now let's see how things have settled in. Let's see if we can make some predictions.
Well, both teams looking to kite away from the west side.
Yeah, no, I don't see. I mean, you might get a push later, but certainly not anytime soon. I think if BONKZ is going to try a push or a play, it's going to happen over here on the 10 line, Brisbane, Harugumo, and possibly Ohio.
Yep, I would agree. And I feel like KSC is planning on kind of a similar strat, but they've got more assets middle west of the map. As Obi-Wan dodges.
He's fine.
Yeah, he's all right.
Question is Raider Shogun going to be able to dodge these ones coming in on him? He does, barely. Cuts his throttle in time. They know to look for Obi-Wan. Obi-Wan's lit now on Warped Chaos's radar for another 25 seconds or so. Dodging all of these shells so far. Look at this dodge work from Cannoli.
It's almost like, you know, almost like the border Can be abused in this game. I don't know, Raptor.
It's all. I mean, I've heard this rumor for years, Zath, but I've never believed it.
Well, regardless,
It only gets a few more torpedoes in, takes a little bit of chip damage for his trouble, but that's largely a radar that doesn't get what Warped Chaos wanted.
No, I'm really surprised by that. You know, not even forcing a DCP. I would have expected
Nope.
an engine out, which with Obi-Wan on the side, you know, on the border, that actually would have an impact, but nope.
Chaos is going to take one of these Kleber torpedoes right in the bow.
Mm-hmm. And he's spotted now too, so obviously they know exactly how much damage that torpedo did.
Yep, Obi-Wan.
Here's the problem. Dyer. Look at Dyer now. Dyer at the Hargamo. And
What is it? What problem?
he's able. I think he's going to be able to arc over the island here. They're trying.
Oh, I see what you're saying. A problem for Warped, you mean? Yes.
Warped, absolutely.
Dyer has to really work to avoid these torpedoes. Woo! Just makes it. Todd Howard's getting beat up again. He's caught under radar out here in no man's land. Down to 5K. I think he was trying to push Siberian and got caught by the storm when he made the move.
Yeah, very, very possible.
Oh.
And there you go with the
Next.
Masva. That's just those rail guns.
I'm not sure Todd's going to survive this experience. Zath, he's under 2K, 750, 6 seconds
on
to
fire.
6 seconds to get this fire out. 22, he doesn't make it. 3 or 4 more seconds, he might have made it, but first blood going here to KSC in game 4. Sorry, game 3.
Game 3. That's a huge kill, though.
That is a big kill.
As look at
Because
KSC
that-
out on the west side.
Yeah. I mean, that also essentially leaves KSC in firm control of the C-cap. No way for BONKZ to try and even attempt to break back into C. Even if Siberian dies, what are you going to do? Shove the Des Moines in there? No.
No. And Warped, speaking
No.
of Des Moines, Warped has been able to get behind the island. He's perfectly safe now. No threat.
KSC is making a push here down the 3-4 lines. Both Ohio's kind of in a position to receive and fire shells back at this push, but it's definitely coming.
Yeah, John the Impaler is looking right at Seppuku's Ohio. And I'm sure the opposite is true as well.
John's not lit back here yet.
Nope.
That's the one thing that BONKZ really doesn't have on this flank is good spotting.
Well, Sate's
Right,
kind
you
of
have
helping with that smoke screen there.
Well, KSC has it, but BONKZ doesn't.
Right.
So now they know Sate's in the cap. There, that'll draw out the Moskva radar. There it is. Sate's going to take some punishment for this little maneuver.
Here comes the Ohio salvo.
Just needs to get turned and get skinny. Think skinny thoughts. Oh,
Right, thinking
think
harder.
it's there down. Yeah, you're not thinking hard enough, Sate.
Chikwama
8
now
minutes.
detected.
8 minutes gone. It's an 75 point lead or so for KSC on that early kill on Todd Howard's daring.
Oh, Kleber rush on the other side. Obi-Wan going after the gearing and the daring.
Oh my! But he missed all the first salvo. He's trying to get the starboard torpedoes in. More torpedoes coming in from the Des Moines from Warped. He's going
Yeah,
for the
he
Des
wants
Moines.
Warped.
He's going to get 2 into Warped.
Warped needs a torpedo
Warped's gonna-
sandwich.
He manages to dodge most of them, but they are going to get Warped. It's going to cost them Obi. Warp's going to go out.
Wow.
Hard push by BONKZ claims a kill, but they trade, and so in the end, was it worth it? I mean, you
Yeah.
pushed on a cap you already owned.
Yeah, I think that definitely caught KSC off guard. It caught us off guard.
I wasn't looking.
I just saw it on the minimap.
I
I'm like, what the heck?
Yep, I certainly wasn't looking. With the Moskva radar down, Sate's going to be able to pick up B. That's going to put even more pressure here on BONKZ. KSC already over 750 points, 100-point lead. It's going to start to grow very quickly now.
The enemy is
We're
about to
just
win.
now coming up to the halfway mark of the game, and there's 2 minutes on the game timer.
Admiral Tester's broadside to Siberian Dog's AP from the daring there. He's just sitting there taking
daring.
it. I mean, wow.
I mean, that British light AP is still pretty good. He should be getting full pins out of that, if nothing else. one of those question tester why you do this moments.
Well, the problem is if he goes too much farther forward, Pikachu's got a shot at him right in the face. So, kind of a... He's in a bad spot. Oh, here comes Well Done's Ohio. This will end him. Never mind. Storm does it.
Oh. Big kill for KSC there. Picking up another kill.
Yeah.
Now 60 seconds on the game timer for BONKZ.
I don't see a way back in it for BONKZ at this
don't.
point, huh?
They can't get on to B. I mean, they could try, but would it matter? They have no way onto C and A. At the end of the day, that's the difference. Like even if you step onto B now and deny the points, you're still looking at that doubles your, you know, instead of having 40 seconds or 30 seconds, you have like 60 or 80 seconds. It's not enough time.
Getting Robocopped in the middle here.
You got to get a kill, and you can't lose a ship, and that's not going to happen because Dyer's going to go out right here. Nope, that's it. 2 seconds on the timer, and there it is. Wow. Solid win from KSC. Zath, the only ship they lose was the ship that basically got bum rushed by a Kleber.
Yeah, very quick game too. About 11 minutes long. So,
yeah, very quick loss.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to both teams. Of course, KSC gets the honor of rematching ELSR in the grand finals.
That's right. And we'll see BONKZ again in the internationals. They'll be playing representing NA as well. So their tournament is not over. They will finish in third here on North America. But for the moment, that means that KSC has earned the right for the rematch with ELSR. Should be entertaining.
Right, you are, Raptor. Well, let's see what the studio has to say.